For the last 10 years by the BC government, but administered by the Salvation Army. Grace had its first baby delivered in 1927. The second baby born there was Grace McCarthy, now leader of the BC Social Credit Party. And the hospital recently recorded birth number 200,000. Luganbuhl says the Sally Ann has ethical concerns about the direction the healthcare system is taking.
The Salvation Army is a pro-life organization. However, it also has tried to adopt a compassionate approach to couples who are facing difficult pregnancies and non-viable babies. And that gets us into areas of concern that the Salvation Army, with its earlier intention of caring for the unmarried mother and then more recently to provide family-centered obstetrical care, become very complicated for us.
Ontario Premier Bob Rae.
Colombians. More than 200,000 babies came into the world at Grace Hospital. Yet today, the Sally Ann said it won't run Grace anymore. It's seen the new high-tech world of making babies, and it just doesn't like it. Kate Corcoran now on what it means.
She's only a few hours old, unaware of the world around her, unaware of the politics of birth.
Today's environment has given rise to new expectations in a wide range of clinical, academic, and research activities. Some of these involve new reproductive technologies that go beyond the parameters adopted by the Salvation Army in the operation of the Grace Hospital.
The BC government owns Grace Hospital. The Salvation Army manages it. And that's the problem. The hospital was seen to be warming to staff and physician input, while the Sally Ann was not, particularly in the area of reproductive technology.
This must come really as no surprise to you.
No, it's not a surprise at all. With the closure of Shaughnessy Hospital, there's a need for increasing reproductive technology facilities in the city.
Is that exciting to think that you will be able to do some of that now here?
Yes, it's very exciting.
Grace Hospital is the provincial maternity hospital. More than 7,500 babies were delivered here last year, compared to only 22 abortions.
Dad, here you go. And show Mom.
This little girl was conceived naturally, but these days reproductive technology involving test tube pregnancy, gene splicing, embryo research, as well as abortion are inching their way into medical centers like Grace.
How could we work in such close proximity to things that morally or philosophically we would have some difficulties with?
Will that bother some staff to see changes?
It will, you know, but we have to move on. As we all know, you know, there's new changes with the medical system, technology, everything else. We have to move on.
The government says there will be no impact on services, no impact on jobs, and it maintains it did not push the religious order out.
I want to emphasize, though, that the Army is not stepping aside because of any request by this ministry or this government. This is a decision that the Army took upon itself, as they expressed it in the best interest of health care in British Columbia.
A new hospital society will take over March 1st, and the politics of birth will begin again. This time, however, it will not be with the blessing of Sally Ann.
Out of Grace Hospital.
Sally Ann says it's been under increasing pressure to expand its maternity hospital, expand into areas such as abortion and new reproductive technology, areas where it doesn't feel comfortable. So as Julia Nunes reports, Grace Hospital is looking for a new name and new management.
Babies have been the Salvation Army's business at Grace Hospital for 67 years now, but no more. After more than 200,000 births, the Sally Ann says it's pulling out of this, the busiest maternity hospital in the country. The BC government will take over in March.
It is no longer possible for the Salvation Army to satisfy the expectations of the public, staff, and government.
Luganbuhl said that with the closure of Shaughnessy Hospital and the new emphasis on integrating health services, the Grace Hospital may soon be expected to provide services the Army just isn't comfortable with. Services like abortion and in vitro fertilization for unmarried women.
In the short term, the concern for us has been the question of abortion. The Salvation Army is a pro-life organization.
The Army insists it jumped and was not pushed by the BC government. The Minister of Health agrees.
In meetings with the hospital, we repeatedly assured the Army that we were not going to ask them to step aside. The Army was looking at the development of the entire area of women's health and reproductive health and all that involves.
But the hospital president says the Sally Ann is probably right to predict a move into new areas of modern technology.
The government has asked us to create a center of excellence for women's health on this site.
But you do expect to do what?
Well, we do expect to maybe involved, if necessary, in vitro fertilization, and we will be involved in some genetic terminations for ethical problems. People do come and require terminations of pregnancy.
Some public health officials say it's time for the Salvation Army to get out of the healthcare system.
They certainly had a place 50, 100 years ago. I just simply don't see it now. They made a major contribution at the time, and now funding for the hospital is 100% from government.
As for job losses or cutbacks at Grace, the government promises there won't be any. The transition team will work on finding a new name and a new governing council by March. Julia Noon, CBC News, Vancouver.